I'm making here another video on the arena. I know I haven't made videos on the arena for a long time. Apologize. But I'm back at it, right? So this one is on Ronnie Coleman, right? So you guys know, again, I'm a researcher at heart. I love doing research. When I was trying to figure out the fastest ways to build muscle, to stop being a scrawny, skinny, fat bitch, I researched everyone and everything. I looked at professional bodybuilders that were on the juice. I looked at natural bodybuilders. I looked at my friends. I looked at, sports. I looked at movie. I mean, everything you can think about, right? If it involved building muscle, I looked at it. I even looked at cancer research, everything, right? So that's why I'm able to draw from such a huge pool of information, because I'm looking at people that were trying to build muscle for, because that's what their career was. And I also looked at people who were trying to build muscle because they were fucking, like dying on a hospital bed, and the doctors were like, we gotta find a way to increase their muscle mass because they're just wasting away, And when you look at all those things, science, bioscience, whatever, you find the common threads, which is my number one strategy. I look for the common thread, right? You find what really works, and you filter out the fluff. One person that I looked at was, of course, Ronnie Coleman. I looked at every bodybuilder there is, that had a phenomenal physique. And of course, when I do this research, I take into consideration the drugs. I take into consideration the genetics and things like that. That's why I look at a vast amount of people in research so I could see what is not correlated with the steroids or the genetics, And I looked at what Ronnie Coleman did. Of course, don't get me wrong, genetic freak, right? This guy was massive before he even started bodybuilding and powerlifting. But there's definitely some things that he did that are backed up by science, that applies to the average Joe. So that's the purpose of this arena series, right? So a little introduction here for you. Let's get straight to it. 5 things that I've learned from Ronnie Coleman, from studying him, his workouts, his philosophies. Number 1, he trained every muscle at least twice a week. At least twice a week, right? So even doing splits, he was, ahead of the curve. I won't say ahead of the curve because that's actually old school as hell, but he knew that frequency was very important, right? So he trained every muscle at least twice a week, right? That includes back, that includes legs, that includes chest, right? So yes, he was on the juice. Yes, he had great genetics, but he was also outworking a lot of other bodybuilders who were doing everything once a week. And of course, we know that even for natties, the most important thing is, other than progressive overload and all that, is frequency, right? If volume is equated, frequency wins. If 2 people are doing 20 sets a week, the person who's doing, 10 sets is going to put on more size long term than the person doing one set a week. I mean, one session a week of 20 sets. That's been proven so many times. So again, not tooting my own horn here, but I've been telling you guys for years, frequency is king. So Ronnie Coleman was ahead of his, I shouldn't fucking say that. Again, this is old school, because Arnold and them other guys knew this years ago. So that's one. Second thing he did was he kept it very simple. I was amazed at how simple he kept it when it came to exercise selection. He focused on efficiency, the best exercises for every muscle. So he focused on the heavy compound movements. He did isolation work, don't get me wrong, but that was always at the end. Legs, squats, and lunges, for back thickness and traps, he did, deadlifts and shrugs. For mid trap and rhomboid region, he did rows, heavy rows. For biceps and triceps, he did the basic exercises, right? The bread and butter, meat and potato exercises. So he kept it very simple, nothing fancy. He was doing a lot of straight, heavy sets. So that's the second thing, all right? You don't have to do a bunch of crazy, out of the world shit to get results. Keep it basic, keep it heavy, keep it simple, right? Number 3, different workouts. He alternated between workouts, which is another thing that's very crucial. A lot of people forget about this, right? He always did. Remember, he trained twice a week, right? I mean, he trained every muscle twice a week. But he always alternated. He never did the same workout twice, right? So if today was, for example, back, he had the pull down day where he was focusing on width, right? And then he had the rowing day, right? So he always, I don't want to say kept his body guessing, but he was always recruiting different fibers, different angles, different planes. This way it maximized hypertrophy all around, as opposed to just doing pull downs all the time, or just rows all the time, right? For chest, he would do barbell. One day was only barbell presses, the other day was dumbbell presses, And that's, again, why does that work? Simple, because when you change the angle, you change the plane. Of course, you're activating some dormant muscle fibers. You're activating different stabilizer muscles. If you're going from barbell to dumbbell, you're pretty much maximizing the hypertrophy all across the board, right? So very important. Number 4, both rep ranges. Both rep ranges, like I always preach, he did heavy and high reps. He was known for his heavy ass lifts, but most people forget that he always went for the pump. Yes, he did heavy ass exercises, the heavy squats and all that. But he even said in so many interviews that was mainly for the camera. It was also part of his training because it comes from a powerlifting background. But he also did a lot of high rep work. If you look at his shoulder workouts, his arm workouts, even his back workouts, high rep range. High rep workouts. And he also did the heavy lifting. Pretty much he did both sides of the spectrum. He knew that he had to lift heavy to recruit all those fucking fibers subconsciously. He knew from his powerlifting background that the heavier you lift, the bigger you get, right? If your volume and frequency, and all those other things are good. But he also knew about the importance of going for that pump, which research has, confirmed over and over again recently, and, cell swelling and all that stuff. So yeah, he trained in all rep ranges. That's why in HSP training, I tell people, all right, heavy, do your heavy ass exercises, right? They're very efficient. It's gonna help you with bone density. It's gonna help you with strength. It's gonna help you with a lot of other things. Stretch, do the stretching exercises, and then pump. Don't forget to get the hypoxia. Don't forget to get that occlusion effect, right? To activate all those different genes. And last but not least, every single day. He was asked. This is a very, very rare. I think it was a seminar. I don't remember, but it's very rare because I can't even find it on YouTube anyway. But somebody asked him, what was the secret for bringing up lagging body parts? And what did he say? He said, back in the days when I wanted to bring up a lagging body part, I would train that muscle every day. I guarantee you. If I find a video, I'll put it in the description. If I find it. But it was one of those seminars. He did so many. And he said he did it for his calves. He did it for his biceps. When he wanted to bring something up, he trained every day. Just like I'm telling you guys, Nucleus Overload, man. I didn't make that shit up, guys. I did not invent Nucleus Overload, man. I just kept researching and I just kept seeing all those things. And mind you, this is Ronnie Coleman, an elite bodybuilder, who said that. And mind you, if you watch my Nucleus Overload videos, you got the guy in Thailand and all those other stories. Natural guys, enhanced guys, athletes, all these people who confirm that training something every day for a brief period of time, it's not forever, does give you superior results. And I could back it up too, with the science and all the facts and things like that. But that's a whole separate video. All right, guys. So that's it. That's the 5 things I learned from Ronnie Coleman. Training all rep ranges. Keep it simple. Your exercise selection. Alternate workouts. Frequency. Right. Training every muscle at least twice a week. And he, of course, did Nucleus Overload. Right. What else? Obviously, there's a bunch of other things, but those are the top 5 things, right? Because those are the top 5 things that I found work also, regardless of your genetics and regardless of whether you're natural or your hands. Hope this helps. Stay tuned for the next arena video. It's probably going to be on. Comment below. Let me know who you want me to make an arena video on, because I've studied. Somebody has a lot of muscle on him. I've studied him, right? Years ago. I still have all the shit, all the notes on my old laptop. Dorian Yates, the fucking Phil Heath, Kai Green, you name them, Brent Warren, Johnny Jackson, Kevin Levoni. Just comment below. Let me know who you want me to make the next arena video on, and I'll let you know the top 5 things that I learned from that person. Hope this helps. Like the video if you fuck with Team 3D. Team 3D Alpha.